Hey everyone, I'm Chris, and this is Cue the Credits. Welcome back to Cue the Credits, the home of everything physical media, the art of collecting, and me watching a lot of TV shows in the month of August. Without further ado, let's get into what I watched in August. I've got the phone with Letterboxd on it, so I can give you guys the full rundown of everything that I watched this month. Or should I say last month, because you're watching this in September. With everything that I watched last month. That works. First up, we had American Pie. So this is a 4K from 88 Films. Check this out because I've had it for a little bit of time. Haven't got to check out the actual disc. Now, I love American Pie. It is definitely one of those like coming of age films for me. So to get to see it in 4K was absolutely incredible. Like, the transfer on this is brilliant. Like, it looks so good. But all in all, what's more that you can say about American Pie? It's a great American classic 90s comedy. If for whatever reason you're watching this and haven't seen it, absolutely go and check this film out. You can get it kind of absolutely everywhere. I'm sure if you're in the UK, you can probably pop in CX and get the DVD for like £1, maybe even cheaper. Just go check it out. It's a great time. Next up, it was the opening weekend for The Naked Gun, the Liam Neeson, Pamela Anderson R-rated comedy. I don't know what the best way to categorize it is, really. It's a comedy film, and it is a big-ish budget studio comedy film that is being released in 2025. So, as I'm just doing quick thoughts on it, it is an absolute blast. We had a packed cinema, me, the other half, and a load of our friends, as well as, yeah, just the cinema being full. It was loud in there, but loud in a good way because everyone was laughing at all of the jokes. It is just absolutely idiotic, but idiotic in a good way. I think it's absolutely what was kind of needed, and I'm hoping that the reception that The Naked Gun got brings back more comedies to come into cinema and to get wider releases, because The Naked Gun was a really good time. I personally gave it a 4 out of 5, not for necessarily cinematic prowess, but just how it was like a nice cherry on top for, you know, you just don't get comedy films anymore, right? You just don't get them. Next up is Thunderbolts. This is from Marvel Studios. This is their 4K Steelbook. I really enjoyed this film, but not in a absolutely blow you away type thing. The movie is a good time. It really got me excited for the rest of what's coming up in the MCU, which the kind of previous films after Infinity Saga just didn't. So that is good. Florence Pugh's great in it. David Harbour's a really enjoyable time. Would recommend checking this out if you haven't, but maybe watch it on Disney Plus because it's available there before you drop £35 on it, because I'm finishing the Marvel collection with Steelbooks. Would I say go and purchase it full price? Maybe. Yeah, maybe. Go check it out though. It's definitely an enjoyable watch. Following my Thunderbolts review video that I did, and actually sitting down and watching Thunderbolts and seeing Fantastic Four in July, I've kind of decided that I need to do a Marvel cleanup, in the sense that there were a few films that I hadn't watched. There was also a chunk of TV shows and shorts that I just hadn't bothered with. So I was like, right, okay, I need to start doing that, and I need to start cleaning that side of things up. So to start with, I watched 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 one-shots. So these are the short films that Marvel put out. Some of them were at the end of certain movies, some were in bonus features on discs. They are all available on Disney Plus, which is really handy. So I decided that I was going to just clean up that side of things, watch all of these one-shots. They're anywhere from like 3 minutes to like 15 minutes, and they just give you a little extra bit of context for the MCU. My main standouts from this were All Hail the King, with Ben Kingsley playing the Mandarin Mandarin. Peter's To-Do List, which is just a fun time with Tom Holland running around New York before they inevitably went over to Europe in Far From Home. And the one shot for Agent Carter, which gave you a little bit more insight of what Peggy Carter was doing post Captain America, the First Avenger. This was a really, really interesting watch. It didn't really feel like an MCU short at all until near the end. Along with all of these shorts, there's also the Marvel TV shows. So it was late on a Sunday and I was like, how can I most efficiently use my time? So I decided to watch season 1 and season 2 of I Am Groot. So these are all little shorts with Groot from Guardians of the Galaxy. They are anywhere from like 2 to 5 minutes long, and there are 10 episodes spanning 2 seasons on this. They are relatively fun, and if I just take a look, there was a couple on the end of season 2 that got a heart from me. That was Groot and the Great Prophecy and Groot's Sweet Treat. Also, Groot's Snow Day is basically just Wallace and Gromit a grand day out with Groot. And then also Groot Takes a Bath from season 1. Realistically, do you need to watch all of these if you're watching the MCU stuff? Not really, but they are like fun little shorts on that side of things. And finally, with these Marvel shorts, I have finally started on the Marvel TV shows, and that is starting with Marvel's Daredevil. Now, this is the 2015 Netflix release. I only got to watch a couple of episodes of this when it first released, and I never got to finish it, or the Defenders saga. So I've watched the first 5 episodes so far. It's a really enjoyable time. Like, it is so well produced. But it's also quite interesting watching it now because they are like alluding to so much stuff that happened in the MCU, but also can't say what happened in the MCU. So it's quite funny in that sense that like they're just like, oh yeah, look, that thing happened all the way over there, but it didn't affect Hell's Kitchen, but it kind of did affect Hell's Kitchen. But don't worry about that. You're not going to see it. Either way, Daredevil. It's been really fun. Next up, we had another TV show, which is going to be a trend for August, it seems. We had WWE Unreal. So that is the new Netflix TV show that is produced with Netflix and WWE, following their new partnership that happened at the start of the year. It's effectively like a behind the scenes, like lifting of the curtain of all of backstage at WWE, like storylines, matches, people. A lot of people have been criticizing it for like breaking kayfabe. As a bit of a wrestling nerd, self-proclaimed, I quite enjoyed this show actually. I don't necessarily feel like it's breaking kayfabe in the sense of, yeah, you're hearing about things that happened. If we're sitting in a world that WWE are putting this programming out, then we've also got to have the eyes that WWE had the final say on all of this stuff. So how much did they really like show off? It is, at the end of the day, professional wrestling is like a sleight of hand, like magic trick with a magician, and we've got to just be there for the entertainment. And this was entertaining. It was a really interesting deep dive, and this is, as someone who loves seeing the behind the scenes and everything like that on various things. So if you haven't checked it out and you do like pro wrestling, I would recommend WWE Unreal. Next up was Bring Her Back, which was the latest A24 horror film from directors Danny and Michael Philippou, directors of Talk to Me from a couple of years ago. Now, this film was a really interesting venture. Now, it was getting a lot of buzz around, so I had to go and check it out. First off, Sally Hawkins is brilliant in this film. She puts in an absolutely stellar performance, but it's also a little bit disturbing because in my brain waves, she is like Paddington's adopted mum. Even though she's been in like loads of other stuff, she's just so good and sweet in those films. Seeing her in this was a little bit worrying to me more than anything. Bring Her Back was, it's a really good horror film. It made me feel really uncomfortable and squeamish and just like, oh. Is it kind of worth all the hype that it's getting? I'd say it's a pretty middle of the road. Personally, I gave it a 3.5 out of 5. I think that this directing duo is the start of something really, really good, and I'm excited to see where they go from it. Next up, after Bring Her Back, I needed something a little bit lighter just before going to bed. You don't want to go to bed on a horror film, especially if you get the heebie-jeebies like me. I watched The Chaperone. This is the WWE Films 2011 venture with Triple H in the lead role. It's a film. I gave it a 1 out of 5. Oh, the acting in it's, God, yeah, it's bad. I don't know whether it's got any correlation to me watching WWE Unreal a couple of days before, but I was like, this looks like a good idea. Wasn't a good idea. Don't watch this. Just, you would think that Triple H would have got better at acting between like Blade Trinity and this, but it's just no better. Next up was Little Nicky, so the early 2000s Adam Sandler film. This is just a film of my childhood. I gave it 4 out of 5. It just brings me just kind of nostalgia goggles and just trips me back. I just really enjoy it. I watched it so much as a kid, and I think it's because I was always like, yeah, this is all really cool, and like I love being a little metalhead kid. Yeah, like I want a bedroom like Nicky's. Yeah. Also, I always thought that when I tried Popeyes, it was going to be like the best thing ever, and it's an absolutely fine fried chicken joint. Also, rest in peace to Ozzy Osbourne, who makes an absolutely great cameo in Little Nicky. Following on, we had one of my most anticipated films of the year, and that was Weapons. Now, managed to check this out on opening weekend, and I stayed pretty much as dark as possible with it as I could. I saw a couple of posters, and you know, the poster that you saw just there is of the kids and they're running, and the tagline, and I'm gonna mess it up, but it's something around like at 2:17 every child in X place got up and left home, or in like the class. And I was like, you know what, I'm I'm sold on that. But I was worried that the trailers were going to spoil something, so I was like, cool, I'll go in dark. This has definitely got to be up there as one of probably my films of 2025. I gave it a 4.5 out of 5. I'm really excited to do a rewatch on it. I won't dive too much into it because if you haven't seen anything, going in blind is the best thing about it. But it is just a phenomenally, one, paced film, two, story led. Performances from the cast are really stand out in this, and also I love how they like move around timelines basically. So the film focuses on various different people in this town for various different bits throughout a certain timeline, and it is done really, really well, that it makes you start to try and put pieces together, and you start to see more and more and more. And I love that within a film. So Weapons is an absolute must recommend. And then we went into a little bit more of a lighter comedy, and that was with Mouse Hunt from 1997. This is starring British comedian Lee Evans and Nathan Lane in the two titular lead performances. If you haven't seen Mouse Hunt, it is a story about two brothers who inherit a giant mansion, and there is a mouse in there that they need to hunt, and comedy ensues. Once again, another childhood classic. Not sure why we were chatting about Lee Evans, and then we were like, oh yeah, you know what, we should watch Mouse Hunt because that's just a good time. And you know what, still holds up. It's really good. I really enjoyed it. It's one that's on probably a yearly watch list, definitely. Then we watched Let's Scare Jessica to Death. This is the Vinegar Syndrome 4K. I've got a whole story about this coming up in my what I bought in August. Let's just say this was not planned to be in the collection, nor did I have any idea about this film, but it is a sub 90-minute cult horror film from the 70s. It is an absolute vibe. If you haven't seen it, maybe check it out. I kind of think that this will be like a background Halloween-y film. Like, it'd be quite good if you've got like a Halloween party or like something like a Halloween-y get together and you just put this on, and it was kind of one of those films that sits in the background. It's got some really interesting visuals on there, and the way the story plays out is actually really, really good. Vinegar Syndrome transfer looks really good. Sound is a bit questionable, but I'm guessing that's due to the source material. But if it's on any streaming, which actually, let me check. Okay, so you can actually rent this on like Apple TV, like iTunes and stuff like that. So if you haven't checked it out, it's worth a punt. It's a really interesting vibe. So that's Let's Scare Jessica to Death. Following the theme of like late 90s to like 2000s films, we checked out Scary Movie. Not exactly sure why this one stood out, but we were like, oh, let's watch Scary Movie, why not? And once again, sounding like a beaten record, still holds up. I really enjoyed the Scary Movie films. I don't know whether, once again, that is due to nostalgia goggles of me being like, this is a childhood film that I watched in my like coming of age phase, like early teens and everything like that. But it was really fun watching it. I'm looking forward to the new one that's coming out with all the original cast coming back. But let's put a pin in that until it actually comes out, and we'll see what's going on with it. Next up, Cineworld in the UK had an unlimited screening, which is basically a preview screening for upcoming films, and we got to check out Eddington a couple of weeks before its wide release. This is Ari Aster's new film, which is a Western political drama, I guess that's how you'd describe it, set in 2020 during COVID around a small town in America, and there is two opposing forces played by Joaquin Phoenix and Pedro Pascal. Also, you've got performances from Emma Stone and Austin Butler sprinkled in there as well, along with a bit more of a supporting cast. Personally, I gave this a 2.5 out of 5. I wasn't 100% on it. I'm not sure if it needs a second watch, but it seems to be a semi-general consensus online that this isn't, you know, one of Aster's best. Obviously, you've got Hereditary and you've got Midsommar, and then Beau is Afraid from a couple of years ago. I felt personally that it was a little bit too long, and I know that that's Aster's style, and he does like a basically an epic. But did it need to be that long? Maybe not. There are a couple of pivotal points in the film, and you know what, I did enjoy everything that I was seeing, but it just didn't properly like tick the box for me on that side of things. I wouldn't say that you shouldn't watch this film, but I'd go into it with bated breath. I think it's also good to note as well that we are in a point now where we're making films about the pandemic, which is, it feels like a weird fever dream, like that we're talking about, or not even talking about, we're making art of that time in our lives, and it's a bit weird to see still, but it was also kind of interesting. Next up, I watched Four Lions, which is a British comedy from 2010. I'm gonna read out the like letterboxd synopsis on it, because that's probably the best way to give you an idea if you don't know about Four Lions. So Four Lions tells the story of a group of British jihadists who push their abstract dreams of glory to the breaking point. That's the first line of it. I won't read the rest of it, but yeah, basically that's it. It is four guys from the north of England who are planning a terrorist attack. As you can see, this cover's got a really cute little crow on. This is a little digipack they put out as well, which I think is just it's really nice actually. I know I don't showcase the packaging too much on the what I watched, but I think I should do on this because this is just really nice. But yeah, this is a film by Chris Morris. It's a really good comedy, even though the subject matter may seem a little bit like, oh, but it's how we do comedy best in the UK on that side of things. If you haven't checked out Four Lions, I definitely recommend it. And then I checked out What Lies Beneath, just to continue the trend this month of late 90s and 2000 based films. This is Robert Zemeckis' film that he made in between filming Castaway. It's got Harrison Ford and Michelle Pfeiffer, and it's the first time that I watched this. Personally, I gave it a 3 out of 5. I thought it was a very interesting watch, though it was a little bit long in my personal opinion. I feel like it could have been cut down slightly, though I also do realise that potentially it may hold up on a rewatch and you can start to kind of dive in a little bit more when you know about the twists. I'd also note that this point in Zemeckis' directing career, it was really interesting how much he was kind of pushing those boundaries before he went off onto like the motion capture stuff and really went in hard on that. The floor shot that he does is still incredible 25 years later. It looks phenomenal, and I am really excited to do a rewatch probably in the next month or so when it's autumn, when it's a little bit darker and gloomier. I feel like this film really lends its hand to a gloomy day, and as I'm filming this, it is chucking it down outside, so that's why I'm noting it. I'm getting ready for the autumn and winter movie time because it is one of my favourite pastimes. Then I checked out Malcolm X. This is Spike Lee's 1992 3-hour 40 biopic on Malcolm X, starring, of course, Denzel Washington. This is an epic. This is a, as rated by myself, 4.5 out of 5. It is captivating from start to finish. Personally, going in blind to this, even though knowing that it is like a top tier film, I was half expecting it to be focusing on more of the civil rights movement, like him and Martin Luther King and that era of Malcolm X's life, where it really doesn't. And I'm sure majority of people watching this have probably seen Malcolm X or have a general idea of the film, but I was really surprised about how much it focuses on younger, like his pivotal years and the prison sentence, and then you only really get into the civil rights thing probably once you were about 3 hours into the film. But if you haven't seen it, would definitely recommend it. It looks beautiful on this Criterion 4K and it sounds great. Just Spike Lee hitting out of the park. And then after Malcolm X, checked out Dirty Work, and this is the 4K from Vinegar Syndrome. Watched this for a second month in a row. Obviously in July I noted that I really wanted to get my hands on the physical copy, and I have done, so I had to give it a rewatch on this 4K. Watched it with the other half. It's a great film. Late 90s again, so ongoing trend of August, but it looks great. It sounds great. Watch the dirtier cut this time, and wouldn't necessarily say that it's that much dirtier, but maybe in the 90s it was. But Dirty Work, go check it out if you haven't. I'm just going to fly the flag continuously for Dirty Work. And the final movie for August was A Fistful of Dollars. So this is Arrow's 4K release of A Fistful of Dollars, which is part of the Dollars trilogy. This is Sergio Leone's 1964 spaghetti western with Clint Eastwood. This was a 4 out of 5 on Letterboxd for me. It looks phenomenal. The soundtrack's phenomenal. It is just, maybe it's because I'm getting a little bit older. I'm coming into my mid-30s now, and I'm starting to go, you know what, westerns, I'm enjoying that. I'm liking a western. But I was just sat there, put it on quite late, like post 10 p.m, and I was just like this, wow, just amazing. It's got a good bit of comedy, it's got great action. It's just a brilliant time. And to round out this video and the final TV show that I've been watching, it has been something that has been taking up all of my kind of extra bits of time within August. I've been watching It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Me and a couple of friends have kind of been racing through to see who can get to the end of season 16 first before season 17 dropped. I failed. I was not doing well in that race, unfortunately, but I did manage to watch season 4, season 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10 of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Sunny has been running for 20 years this year now, so if you aren't aware of it, it's on Netflix in the UK. Go and check it out. If you are aware of it, you will know what the shift is like between season 4 and season 10. It has been an absolutely wild ride for me, seeing how just some of the worst people to ever be conceived have got now season 17 of a show is absolutely beyond me. It is such a car crash of a show in the best possible way that you've just got to keep watching, and it's 20-minute episodes and you're just like, yep, give me another, give me another, give me another. And that's how I got through 6 seasons of it this month. I've got obviously another chunk to go to finish it off, but it's been a really, really fun ride watching all of this Always Sunny content. So that's everything that I watched in August. Did you manage to check anything out off my list? What did you see in the theatres this month, or what was your favourite thing that you watched? I'd love to know about it in the comments down below. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, click the little bell notification to make sure that you are notified when I upload a brand new video. Thank you again for watching Cue the Credits, and I really appreciate you taking the time out your day to sit with me and talk movies. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Peace!